Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, we are certainly dealing with an energy crisis here, and it's a result of failed energy policy. That's no question there whatsoever. As we all know, the assault on the American energy became on day one of the Biden administration with the cancellation of the Keystone Pipeline and moratorium on new oil and gas leases, which significantly affected my state. The first lease sale in the Gulf of Mexico in a year is expected to take place tomorrow, only prompted by a federal court order is the reason it's taking place tomorrow. Still, there's a hesitancy by the administration to schedule future lease sales as required by law under the 2017 through 2022 five-year program. Additionally, since the administration is waiting on its infamous comprehensive review, no preparations for sales beyond 2022 have even been discussed. Last time the issue of the comprehensive review was brought up, this committee was told by several witnesses that it would have it by summer of 2021, which has come and gone. We still have no clear answer as to why this review will finally, when this review will finally come to light. We're only a few weeks away from 2022 with no preparations for future lease sales. Mr. Bryce, how will this administration's lack of preparedness for 2022 offshore lease sales affect energy prices?
Well, ma'am, I can't predict that. But what I can say is that if you're not going to lease on federal lands and federal waters, you'll have less drilling in the United States. And that will mean more reliance on foreign sources. Because what Mr. Nally has clearly said, and I've been reading the IEA testimony, oil demand is snapping back very, very strongly all over the world. And for all the remarks about clean energy and the clean energy economy, zero carbon, the world still runs, in America in particular, still runs on propane, natural gas, diesel fuel, jet fuel, and fuel oil. And that's not going to change for decades to come. So I'm for a domestic hydrocarbon production.
And previous studies have shown that banning oil exports could lead to higher gasoline prices. Do you agree with this?
I can't speak to that, ma'am.
And the second question, looking to the role that U.S. liquefied natural gas, or LNG, plays right now in global markets, what consequences or repercussions could result from preventing U.S. LNG exporters from meeting their contractual obligations?
Well, I haven't thought about this before, ma'am, but I think the first one would be litigation by those exporters suing the government for being forced to abrogate their contracts. These are legal contracts. These are legal businesses operating in America, and they should be able to fulfill their contracts. But I think, you know, again, this idea that we would limit exports of natural gas or crude, well, then what else are we going to limit? Is it going to be airplanes or corn or soybeans, farm products, any of the other things that the U.S. exports? So I think American producers of any commodity have a right to sell it to the markets that make the most sense for them.
And could this potentially damage the United States' reputation of being a reliable energy supplier to our allies and to our trading partners that we have these contracts with?
I think that's a fair argument. And I think from, you know, in talking with some people that I know are in the drilling sector, particularly in the Gulf of Mexico, they're assessing their contracts and realizing they have as much political risk now in the United States as some of them do in Mexico, which is a remarkable statement.
Which would definitely compound the problem we are already dealing with. And I think my time is running out. Thank you, Mr. Bryce.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator. Now, Senator Hickenlooper.